Bryce is calling us from Shaker Heights. Bryce, you want to talk about the tariffs? Go right ahead.
Actually, I want to talk about the fact that the Trump administration is shipping people here who are here illegally to an El Salvadoran prison, never to return. The Supreme Court has ruled against that, and now the Trump administration is dragging their feet in doing what they're supposed to do and get the people back. How come you're not talking about that story?
Well, two things. Number one, why did you lie to my call screener and say you wanted to talk about tariffs? Because that's not a good way to engender trust in a conversation between a caller and a host.
You would never take a call on this topic.
Well, you're wrong, first of all, and don't tell me what I would or would not do, and thank you for calling, but goodbye. Number two is everything you just said was wrong. Of course I would talk about it, because these are not legal immigrants into the country. If they were legal immigrants into the country, we would have a different conversation. But if you are here as a representative of a terrorist organization, which is what these particular gangs, Tren de Aragua and MS-13, have been designated as, you are not here legally. We don't welcome terrorists into the country. So therefore, they can be absolutely removed and taken to an El Salvadoran prison or wherever else for that matter. So of course we'll talk about it. In fact, I have been talking about the deportation of terrorists and transnational gangs. And I think some of the guests that I've had call them narco-terrorists. I've been talking about them nonstop for the last 2 months. And I've been criticizing the judges for their ridiculous decision, saying that they have some sort of a right to due process and a right to be in the United States. As Marco Rubio said about Mahmoud Khalil, I'll say the same thing about anybody from Tren de Aragua and anybody from MS-13. And by the way, I'm tired of all this. Well, they're not necessarily affiliated with MS-13. That's just rumor. Well, check their ink. Anybody who inks their body with MS-13 or Tren de Aragua symbols or colors or messaging or what have you, and isn't a part of that group, is going to have their head cut off slowly by that group. You don't ink yourself up unless you're a part of them, period. Nobody gets to pose. Nobody gets to, stolen valor to, in the eyes of the terrorist groups, the gang members. That's just how that works. But the same rule applies. If you are here and you are committing acts of terror, or you are belonging to a group that commits acts of terror, you don't get to stay here. Period. Point blank. That's it. The end. So I'll be happy to talk about that. And any judge that is siding with, which, by the way, begs the question that I asked in one of the newsletter questions, or one of the comments, I should say. Why is it that the Democrats always root for the villains? In the battle between transnational violent gang members and innocent American victims, they choose the transnational violent gang members. Just like they choose Luigi Mangione over the victim, the United Healthcare CEO. It's a weird sickness that these people have. So, no, you want to call back? You're welcome to call back, but tell the screener what you want to talk about. I don't play those games. Thanks, everybody, for listening.